Hello and a very warm welcome to the Economic Times GCC Search 2025. I'm Apurva Shukla, your host for the session called Coffee Break Chat. And right now with me is Ashish Nayyar and Sreedevi Hegde. Please welcome them to this amazing coffee break conversation. Hi. So, thank you. Ashish, the first question I would like to ask you in terms of the role of GCCs in financial services. I want to know how are GCCs reshaping the financial services value chain today?
That's a great question. So, if I am if I relate it to the story of OakNorth, which started in 2015, and the GCC, unlike other GCCs, was started at the same time as the company got incorporated, right? So we have been part of the innovation that OakNorth has done in its business, from new product development to solving for customers, right? We are serving a customer segment which was underserved earlier by retail banks and corporate banks. We are able to now cater to that segment by our pioneering software, which is combining data with forward-looking scenario analysis, and through which we are able to unlock growth capital for the customer, that segment that was unserviced. So with that impact, the talent that we have created can now just solve for those things in terms of the entire ecosystem, right? If you look at UK, we have created 61,000 new jobs and 36,000 new homes, most of which have been in affordable housing. So that has had a lot of social impact as well. So it's growth with purpose.
Amazing. Now, moving to Sridevi, I would like to understand what role do you think GCCs play in accelerating the digital transformation in the BFSI segment?
So when you say GCC, I would rather call it as another location or a hub of the parent company in India. Why am I specifically taking the name of India? Because the sheer talent pool we have and how is it helping digital transformation is the ready skilled talents, right? We have our own organization, right? That we started off the GCC to drive the transformation journey itself. The whole reason was not that. Of course, the underlining idea could be cost arbitrage, but the reason for that, the whole idea is that all the functions, right, from your domain knowledge functions or your business functions to your IT to your data science, everybody is under one roof. And that's what fuels the actual transformation, and that drives the digital. And obviously, your ecosystem with maybe startups or readily available AI tools, or which can plug in, or even the platforms what we have, amazingly helps. This availability of the ecosystem, even the government support or the talent availability will not be possible in any other location. So that's how it fuels the digital transformation.
So you guys have talked about the role of GCCs in financial services. Now I want to move to the future outlook of things. I want to ask Ashish, what will define a successful BFSI GCC by 2030 according to you?
So a successful BFSI GCC would be a GCC that is fully integrated with the organization. There are still talks about headquarter versus GCC. That should go away, because the real innovation happens when everyone in the organization is thinking about the customers and the goals of the organization versus goals of a particular center. Once we are able to bring about that change, everyone in the organization is focused on solving for the customer, and that creates a whole positive impact, and that drives a lot of growth.
Exactly. Moving to Sridevi, I would like to understand how do you see GCCs evolving, right, from support hubs to strategic centers of excellence in BFSI? What is your take on that?
I think adding on to his what he just mentioned, right, previous one would be the same storyline and thinking. Why? Because earlier, as you said, maybe we were churning number of entries, or the frontliners used to say, okay, these many queues are coming and doing. Now I was just giving you an example. Like previously, I was talking to my quality assurance team, and they're so clearly saying, ma'am, we have found this. We need to educate the frontliners, the person who are in the contact system, and we want even to talk to our clients so that we can give these feedbacks. So that's the kind of ground level innovation, and that's what will take it ahead, right? And it will really help to impact the last end customers. So that's what I would say, when it comes to your question. And I believe India has that edge, right, to become a AICU for sure, and that will help the BFSI industry long.
So you've talked about India has that edge, and I would like to move to the talent and capability building side of things. So I want to ask Ashish, what unique skills you think that India's GCC, area should have to lead BFSI reinvention?
So it's about a shift in the mindset, I would say, from service-oriented culture, which we have seen, right, how it evolved with the IT companies coming up. Now, in the last couple of years, the change that we have seen is a lot of product innovation has happened from India. India has its own product and technology stack. So once you change that mindset to building something core, which is an IP for you that you can scale on, that drives the change and impact that it would create would be very massive.
Now, moving to Ms. Hegde, I would like to understand how are GCCs balancing cost efficiency and high value innovation according to you?
It's both ways, right? It's mainly upskill and reskill.
Right.
And if you are not doing, especially in financial services and fintechs, right, where it's really fast moving, because if I compare to any other segments like healthcare or even retail, even though they are fast moving, but not as much as dramatic change what we are seeing in the financial industry. So if we have to balance it out, we do not have choice, first of all, right? We need to balance it out of both. But how smartly we can do is, when we did the transitions, right, in our own organization, we already identified the efficiencies while we were transitioning only. So that's the edge. So it's just 1 year, 4 months in our organization, which is very new, right, to India. And even my headquarters is still just growing, and we're still in the mode of acquisition, growing, having new clients onboarding. It's about innovation right start then, and more about creating the efficiency there. But how we can nurture it or even balance it till the end is you need to keep upskilling and reskilling. And we should not leave out anybody in the organization when you're doing upskilling or reskilling. So that will balance it out for sure. And it will ensure you to be competitive in the market.
Exactly, absolutely correct. Now, to wrap this interaction, I have a quick rapid fire session for both of you. I'm going to ask one question each, and you have to be a little quick and prompt with your responses. So I would like to ask the first question to Ashish. What is that one word that describes your leadership style?
My leadership style would be a relationship-based leadership style versus an authoritative leadership style.
What about Sreedevi?
Empathy.
Empathy. To you, Sreedevi, I would like to ask, build or buy? What is your first instinctive choice?
Being in highly regulated industry, right, always our chief legal officer or even our CTO will look for build, but we have to make choices, right? If it takes longer time and if you have to really compete with your competitors, rather go for one which is really good, product already available and tested, because you have a lot of partners are in the same space doing those work, right? Why don't you get it? But yes, it needs to be adaptable solutions. What we need to do. So I would say half enough.
Okay. Now, moving to Ashish, one myth about GCCs you would love to bust.
One myth about GCCs would be that they compete and they are taking away business from services organization. It's always a collaboration is how I see it, to Ms. Hegde's point as well. So even if you are building something, there are gaps, right, that you need to plug in, for which you have various service providers who have experience of servicing multiple customers. You leverage that and then you build on it. So it's always a collaboration that would take everyone forward.
So the next generation of whatever you call this ecosystem will be, right, GCCs plus service providers plus startups. It would be maybe
yes, everyone needs to work together in a collaborative manner,
and that's good for India.
Exactly. So now moving to Ms. Hegde, I would like to ask, what is that most exciting tech trend you're observing right now?
I think in India, if you see, right, the amount of the two things which I saw recently, right, one I understood from my fraud COE which we are building, right, how beautifully they can detect so early with the kind of models we have, and obviously with one of the AI tools, how easily can they detect whether it is a fraudulent transaction or not, so fast. And the other hand, right, You tell me, are you even, looking at going into laptop and logging into the system for accessing your bank account? No, you would do on your mobile. So the mobile first thing, what it amazes me. I could even approve bigger transactions on mobile.
Exactly, exactly. Things are changing. Things are going into transformation. Yeah. Now, moving to Ashish, I would like to understand what is that one thing that instantly impresses you in an engineering candidate?
Culture to adopt and evolve to emerging technologies, because tech landscape is changing so fast. So that agile mindset and growth mindset.
Miss Hegde, if not engineering, right, what would you be doing today?
That's a tricky question. Maybe I love interior designing. So I might be doing, which I do even pursue also now also and as a hobby.
Okay, that's amazing. Now, moving to Ashish, I would like to understand. It is again a very traditional question that I'm asking, but I want to know your perspective on that. Remote work or back to office? What works better for engineers? What is your point of view on that?
Yeah, so there has been a lot of debate that is going on this topic, and we've taken views from our teams, we've taken views from other peers in the market, and my view on this is that there has to be a right balance, right? So in COVID, we were in one extreme, and it was amazing to see how teams were able to collaborate using technology and deliver work efficiently. But when you look at the current scenario, you also need to get the fresh talent in, right? And you also need to groom the talent to your company's culture, and they need to adopt to the customer needs as well. So some of those things about building the right culture happens when everyone is together. So if we are able to balance the two, that is the best model which we are adopting right now, and would most likely work going forward as well. So a hybrid approach.
Hybrid. Now, moving to Miss Hegde, I would like to understand any book recommendation or a podcast recommendation for people who wants to become, leaders in future.
I don't know at the top of the mind, but I always look for a lot of TED talks, right, on these topics, and I always believe in you be authentic. Even if you listen to book or listen to a podcast, or even if you do it, right, you be the leader you are, right, and you connect to people. That's what my style and my always been, the approach with the people, right, and anywhere you grow, as you grow, as you become, maybe handle bigger portfolios or whatever it is, you need to be grounded, you need to be with the people. That's what I would say. Book, I think there's a big list. Maybe I can share it with you. You can translate, relate.
Definitely. Thank you so much for the amazing insights and a super, candid conversation on GCCs and reinvention of financial services. Thank you so much for your time. Stay tuned to ET GCC to know more about what's happening right here in Kochi at this amazing coffee break chat with some of the amazing leaders. Thank you.